I just received all my PC parts for a new build that I'm doing from Amazon and Best Buy today. I'm going to use the Core i9 12th Gen unlocked processor. The reason I picked the unlock is I'm not going to be doing any overclocking for the CPU, but it has a higher base frequency compared to the locked version, and that's the reason. Look at the case of the CPU that it comes in. It's beautiful. And for the motherboard, I picked the MSI MAG B660M and not a Z690 because well, 690 series motherboards, the good ones, are more than twice the price, and this at least theoretically should do everything that I needed to do, including memory overclocking by that which I named the Intel XMP. I don't need anything more. I'm going to be using only one SSD, the 2TB version of the SK Hynix Platinum P41, which is a Gen 4 NVMe. For memory, is the Kingston Fury based, whatever, DDR5 5200 MTS. And I'm going for air cooling, and so it's a fairly small case that I picked, and this is the one that I settled on. It's the D12L. It's Noctua's lower height cooler. I believe it's 145 millimeters high, so it'll fit even on the Cooler Master M200. For power supply, this is the SFX 750 watt EVGA GM series, fully modular, gold. And my case is the JONSBO D30. I couldn't go with the N200 because I picked a Micro ATX motherboard instead of Mini ATX. I wanted to have the flexibility to upgrade my memory to, at least 64 gigabyte. And this is a little bit wider than the N200, so it supports a 120 millimeter fan in the rear instead of 80. Also supports dual 140 millimeter or 120 millimeter fans on the top and the bottom. The only drawback for this case is the front is kind of blocked off, so no airflow from there. What I'm planning for is putting my two Noctua 140 millimeter fans as intake fans in the bottom, and then a 120 millimeter fan here at the exhaust, and another 220 millimeter fans as exhaust up top. Based on their specifications, it should have also positive airflow, or positive air pressure rather, in the case. I'll put all of this together and then show you guys how it looks like inside. These are the fans I got. It's the Noctua 140 millimeters. These two I already had, and I'm hoping I don't have to replace them with Noctuas. These are for the two top exhausts, and this is the 120 millimeter for the rear. Okay, I just finished building the PC. As you can see, I use the B orientation as far as the Noctua manual for the cooler because my air outflow is this way. So these are the two 140mm fans acting my intake. On the top, two outlet fans, another one pushing air out, 120mm in the rear. And the power supply is really tiny, modular, and I wish it had a little bit better cable management, but I guess to fit a Micro ATX motherboard in this size, they would have had to increase the height quite a bit for that. All in all, I'm happy. Couldn't do very good job as far as cable routing and management goes, but there is a plate that goes here which will help to hide this mess. This is the plate and looks a little more clean. Next I'm going to run some benchmarks and see if I get the full performance as far as Core i9 goes.